right, man. Do we got time to take a trip to California real quick?
Absolutely.
The impact of the Chronic album. Becox sonically. To this day, I don't give a I gotta do a twofold, Becox.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna let people omit this man from his legacy. We're gonna get to the greatness of Dr. Dre, but Becox, we gotta talk about, regardless of how he did it, what he did. You cannot. You got to put Mary and Suge Knight on the Mount Rushmore of the West Coast for what he did in the AA and the movement he made. Becox, do you think had he not got too much caught up with the ignorant shit from the streets, do you think that Suge would have been no doubt the biggest music impresario of all time? That is 1A. And 2, the impact of the Chronic and sonically, your feel on it and we go with it from there. Becox, go ahead.
I mean, obviously, it's a question that you want to stop and think about. And despite all the things that have happened with Suge, it's a laundry list of things that have happened. Had they been able to keep their nose clean and stay out of the gangster shit and not fuck around and do things like get yourself locked up and have the feds raid your office and everything else, honestly, Death Row would have been probably the biggest rap label ever because they had the star power, they had the work ethic of the people driving the machine.
Come on now.
And they had the streets, they had the clubs, and they had the people.
Come on,
from California all the way over to the East Coast. Like I said, there was a period of time when the Death Row ran shit for about 2.5, 3 years. Honestly, you could say they ran shit for about 4 to 5 years.
You give them a 5-year run, Becox, about a half a decade.
So
you give them a 5-year run.
I mean, when you and then we talked about this in the last episode after this recording, we talked about I did Above the Rim at 30 years, and that was a soundtrack released on Death Row. Here's an album here's a movie that's produced entirely in New York, based in Harlem, that has a Death Row soundtrack that has mostly Death Row and West Coast artists for a movie that's set in New York. But it worked. Okay. It worked because the soundtrack is banging. It's one of the best hip hop soundtracks of all time, probably the best by a lot of people's standards. But if you look at the success that they had, right? What type of output they were putting out in regards to the music that came out on Death Row Records, the people that they produced, the music and hits that they were producing during that time, and the success that they had, it would have been the biggest label out there. They would have outlasted everybody had they just been able to keep their nose clean with everything. I mean, when you look at the success of what happened between the Chronic and I want to say even through All Eyes on Me or Machiavelli, it was ridiculous, man. Some type of numbers that only some rap labels would imagine of doing. And they really captured the sensibilities of just not everybody on the West Coast, but everybody nation and worldwide. I mean, if they would have been able to maintain it, they probably would have been the biggest rap label ever. I mean, let's be honest about it, because they were doing the numbers to support that argument. And the quality of the music's backed it up as well.
Come on, Becox.
Everything been able to stay where it was. Had Suge not lunched out and made Dre not want to leave and fucking go start his own thing, they probably would have built an empire that never would have crumbled. Pac might still be alive. Snoop might still be putting out classic music on Death Row. I mean, there's just so many different things that we talk about that could have happened there. I mean, it was the recipe of all the perfect storms coming together to make Death Row a powerhouse. And it lasted for relatively a short amount of time before all the bullshit started kicking in. Really. I mean, it would have been monumental. It would have been incredible what they could have done had they been able to keep their focus and their eyes on the prize.